afternoon, dear students, for the first segment of our grade 9, grade 10 science class, St. Peter's College, Colombo, Nigam branch. Today lesson is characteristics of organisms, unit 8. Living characteristics. We'll see differences between living organisms and non-living things. We'll see the differences between these two. You can see my one hand there's a plant and the other one a marker pen. You can see the differences between these two. Leaves. The plant leaves are green in color. The color difference we can see in both, and the living characteristics of these two. The plant can move. Plant can move. The slight movement shown by plant, and pen cannot move. If we need to take this one place to another, there should be a person. There should be a person to take this one place to another. This plant is growing, but this pen is not growing. This plant can do reproduction, but this pencil, the marker pen, cannot do that. This plant do respiration, but this pen cannot do like that. There are differences between these two. In this lesson, we are talking about this living characteristics. Living characteristics mean the characteristics having in plants, animals and microorganisms. Living characteristics mean the characteristics having in plants, animals and microorganisms. We will see what are the living characteristics. The first one, cell organization. Second one, nutrition. Third one, respiration. Fourth one, irritability and coordination. Excretion, movement, reproduction, growth and development. From this lesson, we are going to discuss these living characteristics. Today, from this first segment, we are going to discuss these three topics: cell organization, nutrition, and reproduction. First one, cellular organization. Cellular organization. In a previous lesson, we discussed about the cell, the way cell has made, and about a typical cell we discussed. When we get a cell is made of cytoplasm, and inside cell organelles are there, and it is enclosed with cell membrane or plasma membrane. If you remember cell lesson, cell is made of cytoplasm and it is covered by cell membrane, and inside organelles are there to do different function, different activities. Right here you can see there are 4 pictures. All these pictures showing you some microorganisms. This is Chlamydomonas, Euglena, Paramecium, amoeba. This is Chlamydomonas, Euglena, Paramecium and amoeba. These are microorganisms. These organisms, they have only one cell in their body. They called as unicellular organism. This is called as unicellular organism. If the organisms, if they are unicellular, they are inside their cell doing the necessary metabolic activities. So, cellular organization means there's a cell, the necessary organelles are there, and as well as necessary metabolic reactions going on inside the cell. These are all microorganisms. And the other one is plant. I told you when we are talking about living characteristics, we have to talk about microorganisms, plants and animals. Here this is a plant body. In this plant body, the basic functional and structural unit of organism, the plant is the cell. Right? There are different cells in this plant. When you get a plant, in a plant there are cells As example, we can get xylem cells, phloem cells, root hair cells, and guard cells. Like that, pollen, like that, different types of cells are there. The cells combine in a tissues form, tissues combine in an organ. As example, when we get tissues of plants, we can get xylem tissue, phloem tissue, like that. And as well as there are organs in plants, organs, the leaves, stem, root, and fruits. They are organs of the plant. And there are two systems in the plant: root system and shoot system. This is root system, this is shoot system. These two systems together, a plant body formed. Anyhow, in a plant also there are cells. The functional and structural unit of the plant is cell. Inside the cell, the organelles are there, the metabolic activity is going on, and cells together forming tissue, together organ, of their system finally made the plant body. So in the plant also cellular organization is there. Now let's see animal body. Especially we talk about human body. Here in this diagram showing you different types of cells having in human body: sperm, kidney cells, liver cells, bone cells, lung cells, brain, blood, heart, muscle, pancreas, cell. Like that, different types of cells are there as in plant cells. In these cells also organelles are there, cytoplasm is there, metabolic reactions going on inside there. Then we will see the organizational level of plant and animal body organizational level. The cell is the structural and functional unit. Similar type of cells together forming the tissue and doing a specific function. Tissues together forming an organ, organs together forming a system, systems together forming the organism. Here this is the human body, especially here showing the respiratory system, blood circulatory system. In this blood circulatory system, when we get mainly the heart, this heart is made of hard muscle tissue, hard muscle cells, muscle cells together forming hard muscle tissue, hard muscle tissue together, tissues together forming the heart. Then in heart, the blood vessels are there together forming the blood circulatory system. You know, in our body there are some more systems: respiratory system, reproductive system, muscular system. Like that, different types of systems are there, all together forming human body. Anyhow, from this part you should get this idea: in living organism, that's a cellular organization. That means the living organism made of cell. The structural and functional unit of organism is cell. When we get microorganism, plants and animals all have cellular organization. Now we'll move to the next topic. Nutrition. Another living characteristics. Nutrition means obtaining energy and materials to the organisms, to the body of organisms. The process by which the energy and the materials are obtained for maintenance of life. Here today I am teaching you because I have energy. If you are learning, if you are doing sports activities or day-to-day activities, because you have energy. The way of obtaining energy we call as nutrition. Nutrition are needed to get energy to do day-to-day activities. The way of producing food, the mainly nutrition we obtain from food. Mainly we obtain nutrition from energy. Mainly we obtain nutrition from food. The food producing method, there are two methods of producing food. When we get as animals we are heterotrophic. We cannot produce our own food. But plants are special. Plant can produce their own food. They called as autotrophic. They called as autotrophic. Human, animals, they are heterotrophic because they cannot produce their own food. They have to depend on another organisms for food. Autotrophic also we can divide into two. We can divide into two. Autotrophic, photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. Photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. Photoautotrophic mean, photo mean light. Plants use light energy and produce food. Plants use light energy and produce food. We call them as photoautotrophic. Chemoautotrophic mean some type of bacteria are there. They use chemicals to produce their own food. Anyhow, these both are produce their own food. Plant produce their own food by use light, so they call as photoautotrophic. Bacteria produce their own food by use chemicals, so they call as chemoautotrophic. Here the way produce food, the equation given here. Plants use carbon dioxide, water, at the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, produce glucose and oxygen. Plants use carbon dioxide, water, at the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, produce glucose and oxygen. Here the chemical formula equation given, both you should know. Now here this is a food web. The plants produce food. The way we obtain, according to the way we get nutrition, there are three types of organisms. They called as herbivorous, omnivorous, and carnivorous. The animals heterotrophic, we divide into three as heterotrophic we divide into three as herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. Herbivorous consume only plant materials. Herbivorous consume only plant materials. Carnivorous consume only flesh of the other animals. Omnivorous consume both of these, plant and animals, both flesh using animal parts as well as flesh of the other animal, both eaten by omnivorous. This is a food web. This is a food web that is showing how the green plant produce food and the other animal depends on this. Here the green plant here, there are two herbivorous here, rabbit and goat, and the others are carnivorous, jackal, wildcat, a lion. Here mouse is omnivorous, and there are some more animals like human, a dog, cat. They also take as omnivorous, eating both. Right? This is showing you the food web, which we can see here. The plant, green plant, we call as the producer because it produces food, and others depend on that. Some of them depend on plant material, then others depend on these animals, and some of them, both of them. Then the other topic we have to discuss is respiration. Respiration means the energy produced in our body. Energy, stored food we have in our body, stored food having in our body, they convert it into energy by this respiration. food we have as glucose in our body, glucose and oxygen reacting. We call it as cellular respiration. We call it as cellular respiration. So this cellular respiration, oxygen is needed. As when we breathe, take oxygen to the body, to then oxygen and food reacting as the byproducts, carbon dioxide produced and it's go out from the body. Inspiration and inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling means oxygen take into the body, exhaling means release carbon dioxide out of the body. Cellular respiration means food reaction with oxygen and produce energy. Now we'll see this activity showing, this experiment showing, find out where the carbon dioxide given off during respiration. This activity, this diagram is there in your textbook also. Here another class should be here, I'll draw it. Water. Right now we'll see there are 4 flasks here, 5 flasks here. The first one, in this, the first letter A flask, potassium hydroxide there, KOH, potassium hydroxide is there. So in the second one, lime water is there, calcium hydroxide. In the third one, snails are there. Fourth one, again lime water is there. The last one, water is there. We'll see how this activity is doing, right? To function in this, to process in this, there should be a tab here to suction pump. You can see the word suction pump. When we open this tab, water goes out. When water goes out from this side, air sucked from this side to the first flask. Otherwise, it is difficult to take air into this flask. The function of this suction pump release water out. When releasing water from that side, due to the space, when it goes out due to the space, from here, air sucked into this first flask. Inside this flask, potassium hydroxide is there. The function of potassium hydroxide is absorb carbon dioxide. When air enters from this side, in that carbon dioxide, oxygen is there and the other gases also there. Carbon dioxide percentage, 0.03 in the atmosphere. When carbon dioxide goes into that, this potassium hydroxide absorb this carbon dioxide. Then the remaining air goes to the second flask, letter B flask. When it goes to that, in that lime water is there, calcium hydroxide. The function of the calcium hydroxide is, normally calcium hydroxide or the lime water we use to recognize carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide goes to lime water turns into milky white. But in here what happened, because in this air there's no carbon dioxide, because in the first flask carbon dioxide absorbed. Then here lime water not changing the color. Lime water is not color changing because there's no carbon dioxide in there. Then in the third one, we can see there are 2 snails. 2 snails here. The remaining air goes into this and the snails breathe. When snails breathe, take oxygen to the body and release carbon dioxide. Then carbon dioxide, the released carbon dioxide goes to the D flask. When it goes to the D flask, again in that lime water is there. So now what happened? This lime water turned into milky white because carbon dioxide released by these 2 snails. Then lime water turned into milky white. From this activity, we can prove that snails released carbon dioxide through respiration. These snails release carbon dioxide through respiration. That's why here the D class, the lime water turn into milky white. Now see the other experiment. Absorption of oxygen in respiration. From this activity, here in this conical flask, there is germinating seeds. There are germinating seeds, and as well as here potassium hydroxide in this. Here dry seeds in the, this is the control experiment. In this dry seeds are here. This is experimental setup. This is control experiment. Right here germinating seeds. These are dry seeds. Now I can show you that this is the way make these apparatus. Germinating seeds, inside ignition tube is connected. In that potassium hydroxide is there. The water, colored water. And here another special thing I want to explain you. Here there should be a rubber tube. Here this rubber tube is there. When we make this apparatus, we have to connect a rubber tube to control the pressure, to equilibrium the pressure outside and inside. When we keep equilibrium of the pressure, air does not enter into this flask. Here the function of this rubber tube is equilibrium the pressure outside and inside, then air does not enter inside that. When we get this, the way this is happening, these germinating seeds for breathe in, take oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Take oxygen and release carbon dioxide. So here what happened? Inside here, oxygen, inside this flask, oxygen absorbed by seeds and release carbon dioxide. Release carbon dioxide absorbed by potassium hydroxide. There is no carbon dioxide inside now. There is no oxygen inside this because oxygen absorbed by these seeds. Oxygen absorbed by these seeds. So oxygen is not there inside. As soon as there is no carbon dioxide because this potassium hydroxide absorbs carbon dioxide. So there is no gas inside now. There is a space. There is no any gas. There is a space. So what happens when we connect this? Right, when the time goes due to there is no gas inside this, from this colored water enter into this tube because there is a space inside this conical flask. Right, this is the control setup. When we do the control setup, there's no seed or dry seed, we can use. If there's no seed, it's okay. Or we can use dry seed because the dry seeds do not do the respiration, so the water do not flow up. Then here, when we do this activity, again the same way, the water does not flow into this because the dry seeds are here. This is the germinating seeds. In this tube, the water flows out. When we do this activity, we take two assumptions. Two assumptions we take. The first one is carbon dioxide. There are two assumptions. First one, volume of carbon dioxide in the flowers is negligible. Very small amount carbon dioxide is there in the flowers. It is negligible inside the flowers. Right, there is very small amount. It is negligible. And the other one, when we think that the carbon dioxide and oxygen volumes are equal. In respiration, absorbed volume of carbon oxygen is equal to the released volume of carbon dioxide. Like these two assumptions we take. The first assumption is inside the flask the carbon dioxide very small amount is there. The second one is volume of oxygen equal to the absorbed volume of oxygen equal to the released volume of carbon dioxide. From these two activities, I explain you two activities. From these two activities show the plants as well as animals do respiration. In the previous activity, we discussed the way carbon dioxide released through respiration. In this activity, the second activity we discussed the way oxygen absorbed by germinating seeds. So, anyhow, plants and animals both are doing respiration in order to get the produce energy to the body in order to produce energy to our day-to-day activities. Now, in this lesson, we discuss of three living characteristics. The first one is cellular organization. Second one is the first one cellular organization. Second one nutrition. Third one is respiration. There are 5 more topics to discuss. Next week will be discuss of this. Now I will conclude the lesson. God bless you.